You know that moment you catch your baby just staring intently at a corner of the room or maybe just at the ceiling? It's something every parent sees. And honestly, it can feel a little weird, right? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and figure out what's really going on behind that quiet, focused gaze. I mean, it's a question pretty much every new parent asks themselves. You follow their gaze, you look where they're looking, and there's just nothing. A blank wall. A bit of ceiling. So what on earth are they seeing? What could possibly be holding their attention so completely? Right, so let's just call it what it is. The mysterious stare. We've all been there, right? That moment where your baby is just completely silent, totally absorbed by what looks like an empty patch of space, and, this naturally leads a lot of us down a certain path. The idea that maybe they're seeing the unseen. It's a really common thought, this idea that babies might be able to perceive something that we adults just can't. Okay, so let's actually put these two ideas head to head. On one side, you've got this kind of supernatural theory, right? A glimpse of another world. But then on the other side, you have the scientific reality. What we're actually watching is a mind under construction, a brain being built piece by piece right in front of us. And look, while the spooky idea might make for a fun story to tell your friends, I promise you the actual truth is so much more fascinating. It's way more incredible than any ghost story, because it tells us so much about how we become, us. So let's get into it. Let's peel back the layers and look at the actual science of the gaze to see what's really happening from a developmental standpoint. It really boils down to three key things, three big reasons for that stare. First up, their vision is literally a work in progress. Second, their brain is growing at an absolutely mind-boggling speed. And third, what you're seeing are the very first sparks of imagination. Let's break each one of those down. Okay, so reason number one, this is super important to remember. A newborn's eyesight is it's not finished yet. They literally don't see the world with the same clarity or detail that we do. Their entire visual system is learning everything from scratch, how to focus, how to track movement, how to make sense of it all. So, what are they actually seeing? Well, this is the cool part. What looks like a boring, empty wall to you and me could be this incredible, rich landscape for them. They're totally captivated by things like the way light bounces off the paint, or the slow crawl of a shadow, or even a tiny speck of dust dancing in a sunbeam. All the little things our adult brains have learned to just completely filter out. All right, on to reason number two. And honestly, this one is just staggering. A baby's brain is going through this explosive period of growth. I mean, every single second it's forging new connections between neurons. That blank stare, it is anything but blank. It's a sign of some seriously intense mental work going on. Yeah, you can almost hear the gears turning in their little head, right? That internal monologue is probably just going, wait, what is this? Their brain is working overtime, processing all this new information, trying to figure out shapes and depth and how one thing relates to another. That quiet moment of staring is their brain hard at work, building its own map of reality. And that brings us perfectly to our third point. Because yes, even this early on, their imagination is just starting to wake up. Now, they're not dreaming up epic stories, of course, but their minds are starting to recognize patterns and form really basic ideas. That empty space, it's like their very first canvas. But, it's not all just about the nuts and bolts of development. There's an emotional side to this, too, a side we can think of as a moment of peace. And here's something you might not have considered. Sometimes that intense gaze is happening for a really simple reason. Your baby feels completely and totally safe. Think about it. When all their basic needs are met, the world around them is quiet. Their mind is just free to wander and explore without any distractions. That stare isn't weird. It's a sign of pure contentment. And get this. Some research suggests something pretty incredible. Babies actually experience the world more directly, more raw than we do. They're super aware of these subtle shifts in light, tiny little movements, and details in the room that our brains just learned to tune out ages ago to be more efficient. So, in a very real sense, they're having a deeper, more unfiltered sensory experience than we are. So, what's the big takeaway for you as a parent? What does all this mean? It means they're exploring their universe. And that simple idea completely reframes this whole experience. One day, your baby will look into your eyes, and you'll feel it. Not just a look, not just a moment, but a silent connection that says, I know you. Right now, it may feel like nothing is happening. No words, no clear reactions, just quiet stares into a world you can't see. But behind those tiny eyes, a universe is forming. Every glance they give you is building trust. Every second of eye contact is wiring their brain for love. Every time you respond, you're teaching them what connection feels like. So if your baby just stares, don't look away. Because in that gaze, they're not lost. They're learning you. They're feeling you. They're becoming part of you. And one day, that silent world will speak. Through a smile, a laugh, a single word, ma or ba. And in that moment, you'll realize the connection was always there. It was just waiting to be seen. If this touched your heart, comment, eyes,